becomes, it never dies.
I have a question for you, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, how can individuals balance their financial goals with other important priorities, such as family, health, and personal fulfillment?
Jeez, that's a long question.
Should I ask it again?
Yeah. Can you cut half?
So,
Yeah, so average students,
So-
C students.
average, let me
Okay,
do-
for me.
How can individuals balance their financial goals
Okay, then that he can answer first.
with other important priorities, such as family,
Yeah.
health, and personal fulfillment?
Okay.
I can go first. I mean, like I've spoken to leaders, and your financial goals go to support those other priorities, right? So, like, I don't know about him, but for me personally, I feel like my strength don't even come from where I'm working currently in my field. I'm trying to be the best there, but I've only realized there's something called leverage. So by me waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, going to run, doing something that wasn't my strength at all, that's now the fitness part, helps me be better at making my financial decisions. Financial goals, like your commercial side, you can't be working all the time. That's why there's a reason you've been given a weekend. But I don't know, that's for me. Maybe you can probably tell me how you marry. Yeah.
So first and foremost, don't put the financial mindset just there, because there are people who have no resources but enjoy what they're doing, and they're happy in that space. Then there's other people that have to gain that financial freedom, for that they can have the access to every resource they have, So for me, I balanced in between, because 1, I was a student, 2, I'm a hustler, 3, I'm someone's son, 4, I have to participate at home and don't be a waste man, 5, discipline. Then you have the discipline, then you are able to balance through the financial freedom perspective. Why? Because if you're sober, first I know you're able to start your savings ideas. 2, you're able to understand what to tap into. 3, I joined chamas. Started the chama, joined chama with Kevin. And that's how we motivated each other, because we would meet up, but I'm telling him, let's not just meet up and chill. Let's meet up and chip in money. And then, because I know I had a weakness of not saving, I'll give him the resources. You participate in that angle of saving. If you cool the money, it's you. I know friendship, it's a burn. So also having a surrounding that is will understand what you're trying to access. So using that, and then taking advantage of full resources that are free within you. Meaning, if you have a gym next to you, changamka. You've already paid for your family, or where you stay has maybe
the service charge
exactly, has been provided. So you find in my position, like, thank God to my parents, they put me where I am. So we have a swimming pool, we have a gym. Then the environment where I am is very conducive, and
it's like
relaxing.
It's like us using these good Lavington estates to run.
Yeah, so that way you're able to now understand where am I sitting. And then the other thing is your neighbors show you. Your neighbors, there's one who has a G-Wagon, or one has a V8, one has whatever vehicle has. That would make me feel like I want to be like that guy. And then I look at whatever my peers have done. Thank God to my sister, who's my role model. I look at her, and then I'm like, before I reach that age, I should have done this.
So setting goals.
So then having a vision board, of course, to just make you have that direction.
To push you.
Yeah. So that's my answer to the conversation that you're trying to shape into. And I may not be perfect, but it's something that I know it really helped me. But Chama played a part. Yeah. But it's not easy also, can also finesse the chama, also number 2.
You're human. You're only human.
Yeah, but if you have someone who is your chama partner who is like loyal to that goal that you guys have set. Like for us, when we started Kevo, the joint partnership, it was back 2018, and we had not chilled that for much, but we were neighbors. He was out, but when he came back and we had nothing to do, so we were like, as we can get gym, and we used to chill a lot of people by there. We were like 7 homies. We used to chill at the poolside, just chomaing and just chilling, katai for manujwa. Then one day we were like, bro, so instead of sitting
all
like
the
this,
time,
we try
having
the gym is fully furnished. Bro, we said, okay, sawa. Kesho, let's meet tonight, 8 p.m. Hey, do you know what happened? 2 people, they only showed up. And those 2 people kick stuff and up to date.
And that's where you guys are. Nice.
Yeah. So that's how we've just been friends and homies and brothers. And then also we realized we share birthday month. A date, rather, 1919.
Pisces season,
No, he is Feb. So Feb 19, mine was March 19. So when you're chiefing, we're just like, shit. We are meant to be. So we just motivated each other. Then we realized
bro code.
The small, it's details, yeah. It's details.
It's in the size.
Yeah. So then we found out we are land fans, yeah.
So, yeah, but you both of you are the land fans.
So we were just genuine, and we were like, bro, walai. Okay, so I'll put you on what I can. Then the other thing is I just swallowed because I realized the field of study that I was studying was more open to the world that I was able to connect with. Then Kevo's world was sound and engineering. So I was like, Kevo, I know many artists right now don't penya. See, let's just intermarry our goals. And then I'll share the knowledge that I have as much as I can, push them to you. Then we see how it happens. So that's how we just pushed. And bro, even internship, when I first got my first internship, wow, because I'm working at the government, like Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
You could tell us how that is about, like how is that experience, working,
bro, let me tell you, it's funny. When we started, I was skinny. I'm recovering from alcohol. I'm recovering from any life, dying. Then Kevo comes from South Africa, and he's like, bro, we start fitness. We start Kula gym because him's done with school. Me, I was almost finishing on my final lap. So that motivated me because he used to push me, bro, gym. Ninakuja, bro, hata sizi fanya shit, lakini nilijipush. I didn't even a chest. I didn't have even glutes. Bro. But how many chests? Bro, I didn't have all those things. I didn't have even arms. I didn't have things, bro. I just skinny nigga. Skinny nigga with dick long. Those issues. Yeah. That thing messed me. So Kevo pushed. Then we fell in love. We met also YouTubers. Like in the previous episode, I said we watched a few things to like push us.
Oh yeah. Fitness guys on YouTube.
Fitness guys.
Simeon Panda.
So Kevo never had that mindset of atili wewacha unanichocha. Me, me there. I gas you guys. The best part about Kevo is I gas him is like I don't know how he takes it, but mimi kwangu nimeshachocha. Na uzuri ni me, when someone gives me that open, platform by the jigas. Me, not me, but I personally will just do it, So that really showed Kevo that enye Liz and then I realized nisikuwe mtu kusema alafu sifanyi. So I had to play my part. So when things started evolving, when I'm finishing my studies, so luckily it was fun. I used to work for an events company also. So whatever guizes I used to make, I send chama. Even the times I would pata 3K, 5K, narusha tu huko. Nimalizane na hiyo story because that's the friendship I had built with him. Then we bought a line. Like instead of Kevo is an old school guy. Nimse ako Airtel. So hakuwa na M-Pesa. So I'm like, bro, nini sasa tutadu hapa? I was like, but so just do this, buy a line, weka it in your name. Then we lose that line, we'll weka money there.
Yeah.
Then for me, my mom has taught me that like risk taker mindset. Wekela tu pesa penye itaekwa. na ukata mi nilimshow like I told Kevo ukienda ukiamua kuhama uende Busia music sawa lakini just know your dream will not grow.
Yeah, you've leached.
You've killed my passion if you've taken advantage of it. And even if you'll boom and then najua bado itachomeka
it can even chomeka the most unexpected time.
So that really put us trust together. Gym ikatuputsange straight thing. We met other friends, neighbors, Kevin started joining in, then they show us their mindsets and then we're like easy. But we just kept going. So when I joined, now when I was going to do my internship, I talked to Kevo about it. He was like, geez, sawa, make moves. Nikapata 2 chance nikaingia foreign affairs. That changed now the game. Because we were like, bro, we are 1 foot in. If I'm in, Kevo, I'm putting you in. So any jobs that came up, I will just come here, Kevo. Kuna job ya sound, Ministry of Scouts, Ministry of the Sports and stuff. I'll just come here, Kevo. Kevo even kuja the suit na rasta zake. Foreign affairs, bro, naliingia clean juu yangu, unaona, cause I'd built like connections from security guard till to the big top. So anywhere I will pass through, it's because I know I want to use this leverage so that I can keep working there. Even if I want to work there, if I want to work through MFA, it's just a green pass for me. So for me, that's how I built this together with Kevo. So when I was in foreign affairs, my ambassador gave me now the sports diplomacy perspective of, you're into sports. Okay, then let me package you into a sports diplomat. I'm like, the sports diplomacy. So I came back, I told Kevo about it. He's like, bro, sawa. We shaped a website towards it. Sports diplomacy, it's basically sports intermarried with diplomacy first. But it was already started originally from the US, where the UN used it to bring Olympics, all these world sports together. And thank God to my Ambassador Gutu. He really put me on to just look for conferences global that just sports and then try attract Kenya towards hosting them. So I learned how to do hosting. So in the ministry I was trying to be a protocol officer. And also, ministry, foreign affairs basically just does lobbying. So we lobby for international investors, we lobby for international conferences, we lobby for, state to state partnerships, we lobby for joint permanent corporations. So that all those doors that were open and I participated, I saw where I'm trying to shape now my partnership with Kevo. So I'll come back home, I'll tell Kevo, I was at the UN, I've connected this, let's do this. So with that, we were like, so then just do an event company, but marry it with sports and entertainment and food. Because I was supplying food also on the side. So food just came later also. But that's how this partnership grew and led to where we are. And that's why first time you guys approached me about this podcast, I was like, use Kevo, because Kevo and I.
May they shout out to you guys because
because and then for me, I believed in giving people platform. Like I will communicate now my part as a foreign diplomat or aspiring diplomat, I will now get gigs and skumia Kevo. It's not me to eat alone, so it's a win-win situation. If I eat, Kevo eats. So if I take alone, I tell Kevo I'll rudisha with an interest. Even if I piga dent, na make sure namrushia biashara, so that your dent mepiga ina cover that. So Kevo understood that, and the perfect thing is he never like banished me or told me like negative things. Kevo is not that guy. He will just listen to you. If you're choma, but you just know your time is like, it's like time ticking, So the more you waste anakutoka tu, it's like water dripping. Tank itakuwa empty eventually. So when you ziba and then feel it also as you chimba.
So basically usizoe. But
ukizoana inazoana in a space of knowing where you've come from.
Yeah, it's knowing your limits.
But you see also what we've gone through. Yeah. We've gone through the worst.
Okay.
we've gone through when we didn't have money. We even
Yeah.
did creeps side hustle.
Voila.
Yeah, I would, and all these things I would, because I was busy at work, I would pata a guy. I knew someone who was making cribas fresh, like she had a
You
farm.
guys need to like write a book or something.
Yeah, so it's because I was like, Kevo, now guys will come record at your studio. So of course people want to eat wakona munchies, of course. I was like, Kevo, let's start selling munchies inside the studio.
That's actually a brilliant idea because we're in the studio, guys.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
see when we came here, I was like, we can't go there and garden at Kevo's house.
Vibanzi.
Yeah, so just come with munchies,
Vibanzi.
just come take care of yourselves. But we treat this guy or take advantage of, you know, winning that soul. At the end of the day, it's just your trust inatokanga mbali sana. Yani nikikusaidia leo si ati na expect unirudishia, but just jua it should be a win-win situation.
Some reciprocity.
Yeah. So it's a win. If you lose, we lose.
In business, we call it reciprocity. Like if I give you a loan, you're going to pay it today, but we expect you to reciprocate the way we gave you the money to rudisha pesa yetu. We do
interest pia. Na si ati urudisha tu ile flat rate. Pia me also realize
a cherry on the cake.
Yeah, unamwekea hata top thou na
top layer.
Ile
dent.
wasting, wasting
Wasting time.
parking fee, those things. I mean, ni vitu mob sana zili to connect. Yeah, but that's how I could digest this answer, and I hope you see where we have come from.
Those are golden values, man. You can learn a lot from you.
Yeah. So
and Kevo's partnership.
And also another thing, let me add, don't ever downsize yourselves because you're older. Never use those things among your friendship.
What, short selling each other?
No. Just never use the mindset, I'm older than you. Or just let your experience or your maturity lead that.
So
but don't
I'm older than you, I know better.
Don't ever tell your homies like that. It kills the vibe. It
really does. It really does. Because you're trying to look like you're on top of us.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to show us
you're wiser or something.
It's sawa lakini wacha hiyo wise yako ndio to lead. Yeah, that's how it matches.
Being proud about
don't
it.
show. Let your ego be the one rubbing us. Tutasema kweli msenye, you've done the most, but we are humbled also.
Yeah.
But also that will make us see sawa tunafanya kitu.
True.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, man, what do you guys think in that side, even Trevor, because I know Trix is a financial person.
Yeah.
What are the major challenges you think are facing the financial sector in Kenya right now? And how can they be addressed? Yani, how can we help the youth?
I vowed not to be too technical on this show because obviously, we're just trying to like break down things. So just commenting straight up from like what you'll read, because that's what I think I aspire to do over here. Not to also give my opinion too much, because I'm also like a junior analyst. I've just made the transition to finance. I've come from retail and construction. That's where I can tell you I know stuff from on the ground. But for me, analyzing what's going on in the economy in Kenya, one, we are a net importer. We don't make a lot of things that are sold in Kenyan shilling. So we don't have a competitive currency.
We don't support our own.
No, we don't make. We don't manufacture. We buy everything. When you say net importer, it's the difference of what we send out in our tea and our coffee, and then what we are bringing in. If you see how much coffee, tea, leather, like the things that we are sending out, that value compared to what we are buying in terms of machinery, cars from Japan, there's always a deficit first. So there's always pressure on the Kenya shilling to pay back, because most debts, remember also Kenya has taken loans, right? And this is something structural that all African countries have had since we gained independence. We had to take debts to build our roads and like our airports and everything. But what we are using to pay isn't something which is lucrative. This is like Japan has Toyota. Everyone is changing their money to yen to buy Toyota. So the yen has some value. But you see, it depends on the policy of the country. Yeah. So you'd say, one, there's pressure on the Kenya shilling because of foreign exchange. Biggest foreign exchange earner is tourism. And after 2011 Westgate attack, our whole tourism industry was just, and all those sporadic attacks we had in Kilifi, Lamu, Nairobi, slowly just people, and US will release an advisory, UK don't go to Kenya, and the tourists don't come, and everyone in tourism has told me it has never been the same. We've seen a good year in 2022, but one, pressure on the Kenya shilling. Why? Because we don't manufacture. So we're asking, what's the problem in the manufacturing? I've tried to read enough reports, and I'm still reading reports, but it's like a case I'm trying to build of priority of who's in government. When Kibaki stepped in, so that regime, there was a lot of priority given to manufacturing, and manufacturing has been improving, but in the last 10 years we've seen stagnating in manufacturing. Why is manufacturing stagnating? The cost of doing business in Kenya is one of the highest in the region, if not in the world. Our electricity is too expensive, our taxes are too expensive, so foreigner wants to come and invest here, he's being told how much electricity is in Uganda and how much is it in Ethiopia. They'd rather go set up their factories there, sell those things, because we still have a high purchasing power in the region, one of the strongest. Today I just read Kenya has been revised up as the 5th largest economy in sub-Saharan Africa, obviously outside of Morocco and Egypt. But see, sub-Saharan Africa is like almost all of Africa. We're not even close to Nigeria. Nigeria is like 4 times us. But now we've overtaken Angola, an oil producer. So also, Kenya doesn't have that many minerals compared to our competitors. So, but we've not still taken the route Ethiopia has taken of making electricity cheap, making transport cheap, reducing taxes. So like Rwanda, it's 0 shillings to start a business. Kenya, the minimum, at least for you to start a company, so you probably have a company, so it's about 10,000. So the costs of business in Kenya for the small entrepreneur and the big entrepreneur, so everyone from small, medium, SME, MSME, and the large corporations, cost of doing business is very high. Because even remember, those guys, let's say if McDonald's comes to Kenya, or the KFCs in Kenya, so they have to pay royalties back in dollars. That pressure, that same pressure that is on the Kenya shilling, and you're paying Kenyan taxes, and you see every regime is coming with new taxes. The 2002 regime had its own taxes. 2013 regime had its own taxes. 2017 maybe tried to level the playing ground a bit, but now this new regime again. And then now we're seeing digital taxes. Who are they going to hurt the most? Our retail lenders on Instagram. People who are selling, even people like us, they're targeting us with channels. So cost, number one, I'd say, is weak shilling, and then cost of doing business, and then infrastructural overlay. We don't have, our country is not opened up. Everything is so central to Nairobi. We've not put in big industrial parks outside Nairobi. You're looking at outside of Nairobi, where would you trust yourself to start a business? Mombasa and Kisumu, and maybe now Nakuru. So we only have 4 economic hubs. We haven't really opened up the country. It's now after we devolved, and then this past regime has really done a good job about building roads and improving infrastructure, especially like in our ports and in our hubs in Nairobi. Still there's pressure on the infrastructure. You can go today to the CBD and you'll be told we lose 40 million just from one road, like per hour, not per day. 40 million Kenyans per hour, people sitting in traffic. That could have been, if it was moving, goods would be moving faster, people would be moving faster, all these factors of production would be moving faster. So there's like, we are trying to right our wrongs from previous regimes, but the pace that we're doing it, we can't compete with Asia. Or like, in the region, I think we're doing very well. Even in terms of quality of life, services, like you look at internet growing in Kenya, fastest. Like,
environment.
things are changing, but we can't really move at that record speed. Our target right now, our potential Kenya GDP growth is 11% per year. That's where China was a few years ago, and we can hit that for like 2-3 years. But I get, like I told you, a lot of things come that I don't like to talk about when you mix politics and handing over of government, because at the end of the day, the commander-in-chief is the one who gives the vision of where he wants to see the country. But currently I can tell you, don't be too Yeah, don't be too carried away from the situation in Kenya. There's a global
recession
crisis. Yeah, it's like a global recession right now, but good news is on the way. China has reopened and their exports have grown by a big number. I just learned that today. So yeah, for me those are the two things that I normally see. It's the pressure on our Kenya shilling and the cost of doing business in Kenya. It's too high.
For me, I can he's stop everything, but also I can just sprinkle something kidogo and say that also our local politics also affects us, because we are playing too much local politics, and which is not educative. So we don't have intellectual, properties within our spheres or within our circles, and we don't have that then the mindset to think outside the box. We just see here that affects identity, unity, and also there's no cultural movements. It's dead. Why? We have inherited global ideologies. We don't have that identity like how Swahilis or Tanzanians keep the Swahili, and their music, you can see, penetrates through that culture of Swahili. They've utilized their own culture of using Swahili to just penetrate through the industry. We don't have that. Us, we have inherited
different culture. We're not original.
Why? Because we have Kenya, we have marketed ourselves as the hub of Africa. So all the disgusting and all the things that would be thrown to us completely interferes with our culture.
They erode our culture, true.
So our culture, even that's why in sports we are not there. Why? We don't have our former sports leaders or ambassadors. They don't have that platform to champion for us. They just come and go. If they make the money, they go. They don't fill in that gap where they know very well they struggled very hard to make it to the other end. I'll give a good example of in football, his lack of education or lack of that spirit of understanding that when you make it to the abroad,
you're a leader.
Yeah, you're a leader. Then if you're a leader, get educated on how to cover those loopholes that you went through so that you penetrate. That's one thing I would suggest. And then at least you can say Eliud is doing something, but athletics has been there.
Yeah, but the government is always funding athletics.
It's always funding athletics, but we can do better. And you see now all this falls into youth is left out. So our youth is not vibrant. Our cultural identities are not vibrant. Our thoughts are not vibrant. Our entertainment culture is not one. That's why you always complain, play 70k music or play 70k content, and we don't get it. Why? The literacy level is very poor. Everyone wants to be a populist, and that's affecting us. Why? Because we opened, or rather we marketed ourselves as the hub of Africa. And everyone, whatever you see abroad, you've seen an artist who came with, like Takeshi 69, let's use in Noah's case for this study. Everyone else will copy paste that. And that's how we got lost. And even artists from abroad or Africa, Nigeria, Uganda, Tanzania will come and perform from here and left with that guizes, and we don't give platform to our artists to even just share the stage. That's where they connect. Even the behind the scene, they're not given that rehearsal. We don't have expos. We don't have exhibitions to integrate all this sports, entertainment, food, youth.
So that you say that would be like something also to do with the type of promoters we have.
Exactly.
Because they're the ones who are promoting all these foreign guys to come.
And the same promoters are the same people, but that's the other problem. It's just the same.
They're all in the same pocket.
Yeah, it's the same cloth that we're biting, cutting. And we shortchange each other a lot. Nigerians put each other on.
Heavy.
A Nigerian will move into a 2-bedroom with 9 Nigerians, and they will make money. They will have top clothes. They will have iPhones. They will have everything. You move somewhere here. You want to live solo, and you know your homie can help you. You know, you can give him that platform, but ata umoka mbele yako or utaki, you fear. Because we don't want to be healthy competitors. And that's why fitness is very key. And why we failing this? Because alcohol, number one, is killing us.
The culture of Nairobi.
Yeah, the
drinks.
culture of drugs also has just taken over. Why? Because the old man knows that when we are sober enough, we can do it. But luckily now we have a regime that our leader is sober. So hope from now to next election, we'll see some more sober leaders and more enlightened people, because we have learned a smart game of beating each other and proving that you not have to be someone's kid to be on top. Thank God for that. So hopefully with what we are trying to share here, we will, as much as we can, share the knowledge as we can, also impact each other with the conversations we share, and you see whatever TC has shared is something meaningful. I've learned also accepting that he's unique on his own, I'm unique on my own. But at the end of the day, we still have our own issues. Can tell him, bro, you've bad me ufala. No one else wants to be told the truth. So the truth also kills that gelling in. That's how I'll end that conversation. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, guys, as you listen to or look at our setups and everything, on to my left you can see there's a pink helmet. Why? This is my sister's helmet, and she's a private biker. So we're trying to promote all
Lifestyles.
sports and lifestyles. And you and then also to my far left, we have this nice local handmade
Art and craft.
art and craft. So just try, don't buy those Ferraris and then swagger us up. I mean, promote local content, build each other, buy Kenya, build Kenya. And that's why we will say,
if you like this content,
share,
subscribe to the channel and hit that like button.
and also share, because also the more you share, the more people get enlightened.
And comment what you guys want to talk about. We will do the work of researching and even try bring different views to it. Your subscription keeps us going.